Good morning, you guys. Welcome to Sunday School. I'm so glad to have you join me this morning. So I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do you have rules? You have rules at home, right? Rules at school, rules on the playground, rules on the school bus, rules at church. We follow rules, right? So I'm wondering, do you guys think rules are good or bad? I'm going to read you guys this story and then we'll see what you think. So this comes from Luke chapter 6. The Sabbath was God's special day of rest. God's people weren't supposed to do any work on the Sabbath. But Jesus' friends were hungry. As they walked through a field, they picked some grains and ate it. "Hey," shouted a Pharisee, "picking grain is work. You broke the rules." Jesus shook his head. When God's people are hungry, the rules need to change. Later that same day, Jesus met a man whose hand was all shriveled up. Jesus healed the man. "Hey," yelled another Pharisee, "healing is work. You broke the rules again." Jesus said, when God's people are hurting, the rules need to change. The Pharisees didn't like that Jesus was changing the rules. They didn't understand that it was more important to feed and heal people than to do nothing on the Sabbath. So what are some of the different kinds of rules that you guys have at home? Because I bet you all have rules at home, right? Do you have rules like no fighting with your brother or sister? Rules you have to feed the dog. Rules maybe you have to make your bed. Rules about being kind and respectful, right? There's all different kinds of rules that we all follow. And I think that those rules are actually pretty good. And I think most rules are pretty good because they're meant to keep us safe and to help us live together, right? So God's people got a lot of rules from God, right? He gave out a lot of rules to follow. And they were put in place to help God's people live together in peace and to take care of each other. But sometimes the rules were used to hurt people, especially people that were poor or sick, like in the story. So the people were hungry. And so was it a good rule that they couldn't eat on the Sabbath? No, probably not. Jesus felt that that rule needed to change. So he said, yes, they can have grains and eat. And do you think if people are hurting or sick on the Sabbath, they shouldn't be able to get help? No, right? So that rule wasn't helping people either. And so Jesus healed the man with the shriveled up hand. And so we have to think of rules as, are they life-giving to other people? Are they helpful to other people? And if the answer is no, then maybe those rules need to be reevaluated a little bit, looked at a little bit different. Jesus did that. But like I said, I don't want you guys to think that all rules are bad because they aren't. They do help us live in peace and harmony, just like all the rules that God gave out. And I think too, it's important that, I don't want you guys to go around breaking the rules, but if it's going to help somebody, I think it's okay to maybe bend that rule a little bit like Jesus did. And I feel like we're called to do that, to be disciples. We talked about that last week. So even though some rules are supposed to keep us safe and help us live together, some rules in our society are hurtful to people, right? They protect some people by hurting others. As we grow up, Jesus wants us to look carefully at our rules and work to change the rules that hurt people, just like Jesus changed the rules. So will you guys pray with me? Oh, loving God, we're just so grateful for bringing us together again, and we are thankful for rules. We're thankful that you help put those rules in place. But we also ask that you help us, God, just to help us to care for other people, help us to be there for other people, and help us to know when it is okay to bend those rules. Help us to be good neighbors to all the people that we encounter. And we just pray this all in your name. And all God's children said, amen. See you soon, you guys.